Oh, 76 degrees right now, no wind virtually, and a very, very pleasant evening unfolding. This will be the final regular season game of the year in this ballpark for Auburn. Of course, Auburn has high hopes of hosting a regional, if not more. And a very good crowd on hand this evening as classes were let out a few days ago. There were 4 days of graduation that recently concluded here at Auburn. And traffic is normal downtown again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be driving on Auburn again. Breaking ball up and a base hit there by Drew Collins. So Jacksonville State, we talked about the offense. They've been doing it. Big, strong, physical leadoff guy and a hard hit single there to get the game started for them.
Collins is one of 4 300 hitters. Here's another one. Hornung brings a 307 batting average. Ash is hitting 306. And Hegwood at the bottom of the order is hitting 314.
South Carolina transfer is Horning, so Auburn swept South Carolina this weekend. And in comes another Gamecock named Horning, who was at South Carolina last year, transferred in, having a great year for them.
There's another connection with South Carolina as well. We'll talk about that after a while.
See a good change up there from Alvarez. Lynn, he mixes. The two freshmen, I keep talking about Chatterton as well. They do as well as anybody I've seen at their age, mixing 3 pitches for strikes. It's hard to do as a freshman. This game's got a conference feel to it. If Jacksonville State wins it, they beat the #1 RPI team in the country heading into their last weekend of play. If Auburn wins it, they don't get a lot of RPI points, but they don't hurt themselves. It's a huge game for both teams.
These teams played earlier at Jacksonville, and Auburn escaped with a late game home run to win by 1 run.
Yep, in this game last year, it was raining in the morning, Lynn. It was the same exact time, and they canceled it. It wasn't a lot of rain. See a good change up there just off the plate. But I think both teams, it had been a really bad year for Jacksonville State and a bad year for Auburn. I think both teams were okay to kind of say, you know what, we're done. Let's go to the tournament and see what we can do. And a little different feel this year, 12 months later.
On April 15th, it was a 4-3 win over Auburn as Steele hit a 9th inning home run to propel the Auburn Tigers over the Gamecocks.
Chatterton had a perfect game going in that game until the 6th inning. And you're right, Lucas Steele, who's in the lineup tonight for Auburn, came off the bench, sit on the bench for 3 hours, and got a 91-mile-an-hour fastball and hit it out in the top of the 9th to win the ballgame.
First innings have been very effective for Auburn this year. They have outscored their opponents 50-29 in first innings. This will be a chance for the center field, that ball is caught out in center field.
Bub Terrell, yeah, a little different look, Lynn, in the outfield. Ike Irish playing his 2nd game in left. Chris Rembert, first, maybe 2nd game in right. He's been at 2nd for Auburn. He's DH for Auburn, and then Bub Terrell playing center. It tells you the athletes on this team. Auburn wanted Terrell in the lineup because of his bat. He's out in center. They got some athletes. That guy right there threw a guy out the last weekend from right field. An absolute laser did Ike Irish on a bang-bang play.
So as you mentioned, this is only the 2nd game Irish has been in left field. He's very deep, just a few steps away from the warning track in front of that War Eagle wall.
It's a different look, Lynn. It's not easy. The sun's in your face, first of all, in left field. You got the wall to deal with, so a ball over your head, you got to play off the wall. Different look for Ike Irish out there.
Blauser takes a strike. We are in the top of the 1st inning. We are delighted that you have chosen to spend your Tuesday night with us.
Cooper Blauser from Clemson, a transfer. I'll tell you one thing that jumps out at me, Lynn, about Jacksonville State is they are big. I mean, 1 through 4, they are physical. They've been in the weight room, and they are big, strong kids, which is what Coach Beezer likes. And, boy, they've done it in a short period of time. He's only been there. It's his 2nd year. And turned things around amazingly from a really miserable 1st year to a really good 2nd year.
He was at Missouri before that for several years.
Yeah. Good coach and a big pickup by Jacksonville State. Look what he's done. Good for him.
Collins has stolen 19 bases, and this is a team that loves to run. Blauser has 22 steals. They've got players with 17 and 12 and 13 steals, respectively. There's an out at 2nd. And an out at 1st. 4-6-3. Snow, Fabian, and McMurray turn it over in the Auburn 11 against Conference USA competition.
Bonaparte's going to seek it, Lynn, excuse me. He's going to sink it and turn it over, and he's going to throw lots of breaking balls, a really high percentage of sliders, especially as soon as he gets strike 1. He got ball 1 there, but he gets strike 1, he goes to his slider quite a bit.
Rembert has posted 11 consecutive games in which he's had gotten easier for those two guys against league opposition.
And Chris, remember, really kind of laid in the weeds a little bit early. The first 15 games, he really wasn't in there. He's done this over about 35 games where he's just torn it up. Once he got in, he has not come out of the lineup.
He takes a strike. Brian Hale is working the plate. Jeff Head is the veteran first base umpire. Eric Gaucher will handle things at second base, and Javero January is at third. Rembert from Pensacola, Florida, and he's aboard. His on-base percentage is almost 500. He reaches base almost half the time.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. The kid's a freshman. He's walked 31 times so far this season and 165 at bats, now 32. He's just kind of done it all in his young resume here at Auburn. They were excited to keep him from the draft. He's a high-ranked Florida shortstop last year out of Pensacola, and here he is. And now you got to deal with Guevara. So you get past that guy, then you got to deal with this guy. And then, by the way, Ike Irish is waiting in the back.
After the huge weekend, his average is now .340 with 5 homers, 24 driven in. Guevara just magnificent against South Carolina. He's on a 3-game hitting streak. Earlier, he had an 11-game hitting streak. The pitch downstairs.
And you see what Bonaparte's trying to do. Bonaparte's out of Walter State Community College up there in the beautiful mountains of Tennessee, but he's trying to sink it. He's gotten some strikeouts, but his strength is turning that ball over and see if he can get Guevara to roll one over to the left side here and get a 2-ball, as Alvarez did for Auburn.
That's up and out.
Fernando Tatis, Lynn. I've been trying to think of who Guevara reminds me of. Fernando Tatis minus the 6-foot-long dreads, but just the posture at home plate, the kind of closed-looking stance there, real relaxed. I've been thinking about it all year, and I think I got it. Tight zone right there, pretty good pitch. And against this offense, this is not what you want to do. If they're going to beat you, you want them to hit it. But if Bonaparte plays around too much with these guys up, it'll get ugly quick.
And that's a 4-pitch pass. Back-to-back walks have opened things, and the Auburn Tigers have runners at second and first with nobody out for one of the nation's best hitters, and Ike Irish.
Let's talk about the difference, just my opinion, Guevara and Irish. Ike is one of those guys. Years ago, I saw an interview, Tony Gwynn and Larry, from Canada, left-hander here with the Expos, Larry Walker. And they asked Larry, hey, what's your philosophy to hit? And Larry went, see it and hit it. And Tony Gwynn, of course, had a biography of how he hits, and that's what I see with Ike Irish. Ike's kind of a, let me just go hit, get out of my way. I think Guevara is probably a little more cerebral. You can just kind of tell by their demeanor. Ike's ready to ambush wherever he gets. And different philosophies, but it works pretty well for both of them. You can't hold Ike down. Guys like this, you got to just turn them loose, and Gabe Gross has done that since the day he walked on campus.
Irish is a candidate to win the Triple Crown for Auburn. He's hitting .345. That's second best on the team right now. 13 homers, that leads the team. And he's tied in RBI with McMurray, who's on deck. They both have 48.
It doesn't matter if a guy's thrown 18 balls in a row. The first ball around the zone Ike Irish gets, watch his cleats come untied.
Runners at second and first.
Good pitch.
Irish looks at a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Rembert is the lead runner at second base. Guevara behind him.
Bonaparte needs a ground ball terribly right here. 1 pitch, 2 outs.
And he doesn't get it. A sharp single to right. The runner rounds third. Now they put the brakes on. The bases are loaded. Rembert walked. Guevara walked. Irish drills a hard pitch.
You can't look up and go, okay, I can get him out. Good luck.
McMurray is hitting .330. He's homered 12 times.
13.
Make it 13.
Designated hitter, number 10, Lucas Spears.
Love it! Love it!
Center fielder, number 19, Bob Terrell.
We are back. Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everyone. We apologize for some momentary audio difficulties we have had. Meanwhile, Auburn has had no difficulty, scoring 5 runs In the bottom of the first inning, the big blow, the Cooper McMurray grand slam home run that followed a walk to Rembert, a walk to Guevara, an Ike Irish base hit to right field. McMurray slammed one into the bleachers in right center field, his 13th home run of the year. Steele followed with a double. Eric Snow grounded out, and Bub Terrell has just doubled off the warning track. And the Auburn Tigers, who had scored 50 runs in the first inning of games this year, now have 55, Mark.
And Lynn, that Bub Terrell ball probably could have been topped, but I think Drew Collins lost it. He's looking in the sun, and he just did not see it from contact, and ball bounced on the warning track. So Auburn, 46 runs we showed you over the weekend, and here's 5 more. This team is on fire right now. I don't know anybody better in the country that's swinging the bat than Auburn.
Freilich. Strike one in the upper part of the zone. This young man is hitting .339. The freshman is in the 8 hole and has been very effective. Couple of a dozen doubles, 4 homers, 37 driven in. Good numbers for Freilich at the bottom of the order.
He's had a great freshman year. And remember now, he's caught 90% of the games. Ike Irish caught a little bit early. Other than that, Freilich's been back there as a freshman. And it's a long season. You take a beating, you got late nights and long bus rides, and you got to get back and do it again. He's done a great job carrying the load behind the plate for them.
He pulls this one to the first baseman. It's a fair ball. Thomas makes the play for only the second out. Terrell moves to third.
I think the sign of a great coach, Lynn, is what he does with his team late in the year. Coach Thompson, this is what he's done. They've been to Omaha twice the last his 10 years here. Both times they were not great during the season teams, and they got hot, and off they win. And same thing happened here. Coach Polk was always great with that at Mississippi State. His teams were on fire at the end of the season. Coach Bertman, same way. It's just a trait that a coach has. Some coaches have it, and Butch Thompson's doing a great job with his bunch here as they head down the road to the last series and then headed to regional play.
2019 and 2022 were the World Series appearances under Butch Thompson for Auburn. And this Auburn team, very quietly, has just kept winning and winning and winning. It does not have a mathematical chance to win the regular season, but it certainly is well positioned for a very high seeding in postseason.
Yeah, they're in 6th place in the conference for the last weekend. They're also the 7th team nationally as far as the top 16. We'll show you some of that as the game goes along. The top 8 will host all the way to Omaha. And the next 8, they host just the first round and move on.
And there's a real opportunity for Auburn to be home throughout the series, the playoff series.
Very often. The third baseman broke in before the pitch, and then the catcher caught him. Good throw. Bub Terrell paying attention, getting back. I like movement. I like when a catcher runs the game from behind the plate and is very active, and a good job there.
Grayson Ash is the receiver for the Gamecocks. If you've just joined us, Cooper McMurray has slammed one deep over the right center field wall with a teammate on every base. And now they are walking Fabian.
You could just kind of feel it, could you, Lynn? You just kind of feel that it was prime for McMurray to do that. The 2 walks, the base hit by Ike, here he comes. Nowhere to put him. You got to pitch to it, man, oh man.
Here's Chris Rembert. He walked and scored earlier. He's the 10th Tiger to come to the plate. What a start for the Auburn Tigers. Continuing where they left off against the Gamecocks of South Carolina. How often is it that you play a team, 2 teams in a row that have the same nicknames?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, the same thing is happening to this Gamecock team that happened to the South Carolina Gamecocks as far as the explosion offensively. Auburn continuing just to pound away. You know, right now the scouting report, if you're Ole Miss, I don't know if they're playing tonight or not. They may be done with their non-conference. They're getting ready for Auburn. And the scouting report offensively says something like this: good luck. It's just got 2 words. Good luck. You better pitch and not give them anything free if you're going to win some games. Is it the crowd? Is it being on the road? Bonaparte came in with a really good walk to inning ratio, but so far 3 walks and staring at number 4 here if they ever get the next 2 pitches over the plate.
He has missed 6 times in a row. He ends that with that strike.
Dangerous pitch here. The game's not out of reach yet, maybe 5-0, but this is a dangerous pitch here because he's got to throw a fastball down the middle to try to get a strike.
3-1. 2 outs, 2 on, 5 in for the Auburn Tigers.
It's a great time of year, isn't it, Lynn? I mean, it is. The tournament's a week and a half away. It'll start a week from Wednesday or Tuesday up in Birmingham. All 16 teams will get in for the first time ever. Single elimination for the first time ever. So it'll be if somebody gets hot, you don't have to win 7 games in 3 days. You can win 1 a day, probably double games on Saturday maybe if you make it that far. So it's going to be exciting to watch.
And another base on balls as Rimbert has walked twice in the first inning.
Will you go to the tournament? You make it there to watch the Tigers or LSU Tigers?
Not very often.
Really kind of 1B to Omaha. It's not as big and it's not as captivating, but it really is impressive. You're
No, it's wall-to-wall baseball, and you get to know people from all over the country, all over the other venues.
LSU, Mississippi State fans kind of dominate. They travel so well. Being in Alabama, you've got the Crimson Tide and Auburn fans show up. It's just a neat thing. And I think the last year, maybe it was my senior year, we played in the Superdome. I think from that point on, it's been in Birmingham.
Here's Guevara. He comes up with the bases loaded.
Again. McMurray a few hitters ago. Guevara on the weekend. We showed you what he did again off the scoreboard for a grand slam. There he comes again.
That's off the mark. It didn't miss by much, but the count is 2 and count at 2.
They've got a tough one, Lynn. They go to Western Kentucky for the weekend, so they will play tonight, jump on the road tomorrow because they play on the 15th. Thursday games all across the country because of the tournaments coming up.
Guevara bangs one to center field. Williamson is out there, and he's got its way into perhaps postseason contention with a fine tournament.
Yeah, they can make a move, Lynn. They're 13-11. They're in, you see right there, they're in 4th place, not too far behind. They'll play Western Kentucky. They can't really catch anybody, but they can just kind of drive home heading into the conference tournament. They're going to have to win it to get to the regional, but they can do that. They're capable of it. They're pitching well, they're hitting well, and their numbers look pretty good.
Dallas Baptist at 19-5 leads by 2 games over Western Kentucky.
Dallas Baptist every year is in the regional, super regional conversation. Just a good program there. And to Jacksonville State's credit, finished the bottom 2 last year. I don't know if it was bottom 1 or 2, but this had a rough year. Rebuilt to the portal, and here they are. Coach Beazer his staff should be congratulated because it's hard to do that. You know, go out and get guys, sell them on the program, and then turn it around in 12 months.
Thomas, Ash, and Johnson will take their cuts against Alvarez here in the top of the 2nd. And that's a strike. Thomas
rush into this thing. Good start there.
And Mark, as you well know, when you're down by 5, it takes a lot of base hits to make that a competitive game. But when you can get a walk, an error, those types of things, then that magnifies the impact of a couple of base hits. So this is what they need.
And these Tuesday night games typically are, Lynn, kind of everybody on the staff pitching. They can get out of hand. They pitch a lot of guys, and they can end up being 12-11. So I don't think they're anywhere out of this thing. They just got to get some things going and not swing at bad pitches. So they're off to a good start.
And if you're Alvarez, you certainly can afford to give up some base hits, but you cannot afford to be careless and walk people.
That's right. And really the pinch for both teams is P-I-N-C-H. The pinch is conference is on Thursday this week. Today's Tuesday. So there's not time. You can't really burn anybody that you want. Auburn's playing for a super regional host if they win 1 or 2 at Ole Miss. And so you don't want to burn anybody that you're going to need on the weekend. And good time out by Fralick to go talk to Alvarez.
You know, I think sometimes we get wrapped up too early in postseason seeding and that sort of thing. But there are only 3 games remaining for Auburn and Ole Miss this weekend in the SEC. And it's pretty clear what Auburn needs to do right now. They are in the driver's seat.
Gives them 17 conference wins. That's kind of a standard, Lynn, especially with the RPI. It's number 1 in the country. Number 2, strength of schedule. Those 2 things, 1 win at Oxford, I think they're a national host. See what they got there, some of the projections, where they have them. It's hard to do now. The RPI and the strength of schedule that close. It tells you Coach Thompson, when he makes that schedule every fall and summer, he doesn't play around, wants to play good people.
It doesn't hurt when you go against SEC competition either.
You got that right.
Alvarez yielded a base hit to Collins to open the game. Horning flied to center field. A 4-6-3 double play took care of business defensively in the first. He has walked Thomas, and here's Ash. He's from Montgomery, Alabama. Ash is having a nice year. 306. This is his 43rd start. He's been an everyday starter. 10 homers, 36 driven in. He's got more home runs than he has doubles.
Excuse me, Lynn. Handful of junior college guys combined with portal guys.
This is close. He got him.
Alvarez has.
And extending the lead. And Alvarez was given the advantage there because of the distance that Thomas had created between himself and the bag.
And you see the fury in Coach Beezer's eyes. Well, it might have been a 2-ball anyway, but a hard hit ball, we'll never know.
Fabian over to McMurray for the second out. But that's just inexcusable, down by 5 and then get picked off of first base.
Yeah, it is. And they know Alvarez has good feet. He was close in the first inning with Drew Collins after the base hit on picking him. And so you see Coach Beezer not very happy. You see those tight lips and that glare like, what are we doing? They know better than that. But it is what it is, and it really helped Alvarez out. He had to walk and then fall behind. You get a pick and a hard hit ball.
Now, the last time we were together in this broadcast booth, I told you what that pose looked like. Did you remember it?
No, I don't.
Poke and grits.
There you go. I like it.
Beezer has a case of the poke and grits. That's when you poke your jaw out and you grit your teeth.
That's it.
That's the poke and grits.
And really, what a momentum change for Alvarez. I mean, laboring a little bit, lead off walk, fall behind, then all of a sudden, boom, 2 outs, nobody on. It's just, that's how important one mistake can be like that, and just the momentum switches.
Caleb Johnson, a .245 hitter. He fouls the pitch away. He has started every game. This shortstop with a couple of homers, 31 driven in.
Phoenix City, from a powerhouse Central High School over there in Phoenix City, about 45 minutes away.
There are a few empty seats in this ballpark tonight, but not many, and it's great weather. 76 degrees at game time, no wind right now. A few puffy clouds, but no chance of rain tonight.
Then the old saying, if you build it, they will come. Auburn made a lot of really nice additions to the stadium out in left field, down the right field line. But you got to add to that, if you build it and win, they will come. And Auburn is winning again. They didn't win last year. They are this year, and the fans are here, and it's just fun to watch your team play well and win. And it's a great setting.
It's been a nice resurgence, timed beautifully with the renovation of the ballpark.
Yep, sure has. And that was one thing Coach Thompson was heavy on his heart, was we got this beautiful place, the administration, the AD at Auburn, everybody supporting it. They needed to win, and they have.
One of the things that I really like about this ballpark, and it's not the case in every SEC venue, and that is a base runner who was picked off at first, and 3 up, 3 down as it turns out, 5-0 Auburn. Close to the action, the sight lines are tremendous. But the fact that you have the comfort of a chair back seat everywhere is really special and comfortable for the fans.
Good breaking ball there by Alvarez, and a good at bat by Caleb Johnson, just battling here with a 3-2 count. This is what Coach Beezer wants to see. He wants to see his team play good baseball. They didn't pitch well in the first inning, and Auburn took advantage of it, but he just wants to see them play well. And that's it. Just, you got a lot of baseball left with Western Kentucky coming, and you got a lot of baseball in this game. Just keep having good at bats and play well.
This will carry out to left field where Ike Irish is waiting. He doesn't have to move much. And he makes the catch. A base runner who was in streak right now as a result of his single in the first inning. He's been on base in 10 consecutive games. And that's the biggest active streak for an Auburn Tiger. Well.
You kind of get the feeling that Jacksonville State has either made the decision before they got here or made it when that first inning erupted to just not give up too much and get ready for Western Kentucky. Kind of see what they can do. Can they hang in there? And they can if they throw strikes.
The pitcher's going to have to cover, and he does. Caldwell was able to beat Irish to the bag, a 3-1 put.
Going to have to win it, but it really helps them to go up there and play well against Western Kentucky. So I think they want to play well. They want to win. I mean, that's not being applied at all. But just don't burn any aces.
McMurray hit a grand slam last time. It was caught out in those bleachers in right center field. It was his 13th home run of the year. And it gives him 52 driven in. That leads the team.
Never see him do anything showy. He's a very blue-collar guy. He's what he would describe. I'm sure Coach Thompson has said he's an Auburn man. He handles himself very well, plays the game right. You don't see him bat, flip, and dance around. Hit that ball out in the first inning and just took off like it was a single, which is the way you're supposed to do it. And done everything right since he walked onto campus. Transferred from Kansas, hit a bunch of home runs there, transferred in, and had a great career.
The infield plays him with that exaggerated shift. There are 3 infielders on the right side. There's a strike at the knees.
Fastball from Caldwell is going to sit upper 80s, 88 to 89. Good life on the arm side, which means the ball's going to run to his arm side in on the hitters that are left-handed, like McMurray. You saw the ground ball there from Mike Irish. That's what this guy can do if he sinks it in the strike zone. It's been a tight zone. There's been 3 or 4 pitches. I think they thought that was one there. There's been some pitches in the first inning for Bonaparte that looked pretty good, and I think they would agree from the Jacksonville State mound side of things.
The outfield is very deep, pretty much straight away. The infield has the exaggerated shift. And there's ball 4.
Lucas Steele's a switch hitter, so he will turn around right-handed now against left-handed Caldwell. It's such a nice gift to have in your lineup, a guy that can switch hit. And Lynn, I don't know. I've been doing this a long time with hitters. I don't know what allowed. There's so few guys that do it well. There's something about the brain that allows somebody to switch around and do it as well left as they do right. And Lucas Steele, one of those guys, pretty good at it on both sides of the plate.
His double in the first inning moved his hitting streak to 6 consecutive games.
I'd love to hear Chipper Jones talk about probably the greatest switch hitter of all time. What was it?
More than Mickey Mantle?
Comparable. But what made it? What made switch hitting so easy for them? Not that it's easy, but they were able to do such a high level. What is it? I don't know. You tell kids to do it early if they're going to do it, but I don't know what else it is. You see what he's done. Last 8 games. It was kind of quiet early.
Boy, that's not quiet, though.
No,
462, 3 homers, 15 driven in, and 7 walks in the last 8 games. That's all SEC caliber stuff.
Yeah, and he came from Sanford and had a great career there, but there's definitely the jump. Obviously, it's been done before here. Sonny DeShera showed up and was the National Player of the Year from Sanford. So to make that jump and do it at a high level, pretty impressive. You see right there, 23 SoCon Freshman Player of the Year, and then come here to Auburn and settle in, and now be doing it at a high level here.
He's from Hoover. He waves at that one.
Good fastball by Caldwell, mid-limb, 2 strikes, great pitch.
That's the first strikeout of the game for this Gamecock pitching staff, which is too deep right now. Bonaparte pitched the first inning, Caldwell here in the second. Here's Eric Snow on a 5-game hitting streak. He bounced out to the right side last time. Terrell is on deck. Snow lines one over the third baseman's head. This was going to roll into the left field corner for a while. McMurray is on his way to third base. Here's the throw to second. It's not in time. Eric Snow promptly moves his hitting streak to 6.
Too late by then for Snow as well as he runs.
So 2 Tigers aboard, both in scoring position for Bub Terrell.
Drew Collins has got to know he's run a long way. Somebody's probably communicating between the shortstop and the third baseman as where to throw the ball, but he's got to know to come up and throw to second base there before he ever even gets to the ball.
Terrell is also one of those impact freshmen for the Auburn Tigers. Auburn put a lot of faith in first-year players between last season and this season, and they have certainly paid off for the Auburn Tigers. This is going to be out of play, I believe. Yes, it's a souvenir.
It's a great mix, Lynn. Guevara was here last year, had some injuries, had some hamstring problems this year and was not in the lineup for a while. Fabian was here last year. He's grown into being, I think, one of the better defensive shortstops in the league. Plays great, been solid all year long at Murray. But then you figure in the 3 freshmen who are playing a lot. You figure in Snow, you figure in a couple other guys. They're playing about 11 guys as the Auburn offense, and they're rotating them. And you do settle in this time of year. You settle into about 8 pitchers and about 11 or 10 pitchers in series. And to do that, they're going to have to win this game.
The third innings have been productive for Auburn. They have outscored their opponents 50-20 in the third frames this year. Mark, don't look. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Which inning do you think has been the most productive for Auburn in terms of the most runs scored?
Gosh, they do a lot of damage early. I'm going to say the 6th.
6 isn't bad. They scored 48 in the 6th, but the second inning is the one. 59 runs in the second inning. That's big production.
Yeah, and it's devastating when you're another team. I mean, you're down a lot early, so you don't have a chance to get into the game, which that's a good trait. It's like a football team, right? Go out there and put it on in the first quarter and get them down. Same thing here. Get them down, get into the bullpen, and kind of demoralize the team early.
Well, in the first 2 innings, and I'm counting what has happened today, Auburn has outscored its opponents 114-58. That's a big number.
Sure is. Yeah, sure is. Sam Silas, good player from Hopeville High School, just 30 miles, 40 miles from here from Auburn. So this team, this Jacksonville State team's been reloaded. It was a really difficult season last year. They used 17 pitchers in one game. I was watching them play Troy last year, and Coach Beasley's rebuilt it. He's rebuilt it with Alabama kids, junior college kids, portal kids, not many freshmen, older guys.
The tag will be made by McMurray as he touches Silas in the base path. 3 unassisted on the putout.
There you see what they've done now. Look at that. 18 wins last year. I mean, it was demoralizing for any coaching staff. First year or not, doesn't matter. You want to win. And of course, they've almost tripled the conference wins. They can do that with Western Kentucky this weekend, and then the numbers on the mound is better and better. And that's what the portal allows you to do. I'm not a big fan of it, Lynn. I think it's out of control in some areas, but it does allow a new staff to go regroup. Troy's ranked 14th in the country right now. They've done it. They have reloaded in 3 years with the portal. And that's what Jacksonville State's done. UAB's done it. Coach Dunn's having a good year there with guys that he went out and got in the portal.
Troy's success in a roundabout way has helped Auburn.
It really has.
Because Auburn has defeated Troy. Yep. So that's that strength of schedule factor you were talking about earlier.
Yep, 1-run game here a couple months back. Troy will be in the postseason. They don't have to win their conference. They're 37 wins, around 17 conference wins, and not an advertisement for Troy, but just talking about what the portal can do. And that's what's happening here in Jacksonville State with Coach Beasley. The rebuild has been very successful for him in year 2.
The 1-2 pitch to Hegwood. Right 3 called. Alvarez.
12-3, and with these additions and these extra fans here, it made a difference in our atmosphere. I think it was the most since 1999. I was with Coach Baird this morning, and we talked about we were walking and talking, and I told him that 99 team's the last one that went 12-3 at home, and we talked about this ballpark being originally built and only a couple of years old at that time, and then the same phenomenon, which I don't think is coincidence, happened this year.
Coach Alvarez throwing well for you. What do you like, and how long will you let him go?
Well, you know, you guys have a scouting report on your announcing. I have a scouting report, and Brian Hale, the home plate umpire, has a scouting report. Very professional approach, very small strike zone. Thought our offense evaluated pitches. It started with a couple of walks before the big stuff happened. Done a great job there. Alvarez is a young pitcher. We want him to keep growing, still behind in the count a little bit. The off-speed stuff, I think he was 1 for 4 with that changeup in the second inning. Really pitched with his fastball here in the third inning, so we just want him to grow. I keep wanting him to get strike 1, get out in front of the count, but a good arm that's going to be great for us, and he's working to find that small strike zone tonight.
Butch, I know that you take one game at a time and that everything is important as you contemplate postseason and the chances for the Auburn Tigers to be at home throughout. But certainly congratulations on what has occurred already and what certainly is within your sight as you near the end of this year.
Yeah, thanks for being with us, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Coach.
It's been quite the turnaround.
Yeah, it really has been. And what you heard him mention there when he mentioned Fabian and Ike and Cooper McMurray, Lynn, was they didn't leave. You know, in this world we live in, they had calls from other schools with money. NIL, no doubt about it, especially Ike Irish, but all three of them because they're great players. And they stayed, and they invested. And then some freshmen come in, then a couple portal guys come in, and then Eric Guevara gets healthy, and boom. But it all starts with leadership.
Freilich has flied out. Here's Fabian, who walked in the first inning. He stands even with the dish and takes a big cut, but can't find that pitch from Caldwell.
Lynn, one thing about this NIL thing, and you probably know this, is there's no tampering rules. I mean, I can call you up if I want, and I know for a fact one player in this state who had a great year last year was called in April as the season's still going on and offered money by an SEC school, and there's just it's kind of a lawless, just whatever you want right now until somebody puts some reins on it. But these Auburn guys stayed and they invested, and it's paying off for them now.
Let me speak bluntly. What's happening now is unsustainable.
It is. I agree with you.
And in the interest of competitiveness and in the interest of fairness, there has to be regulation. There has to be a well understood and well enforced platform of rules. Without it, I really worry about the future of college athletics, not just baseball or football, but college athletics in total.
Yeah, and Lynn, if anybody from the NCAA is listening to us, I would just ask this question. What do you do with these kids when you give them money, then they graduate, or they don't get a degree, they don't make it to the major leagues or the NFL or the NBA, whatever it is, and then the money stops? Then what do you do? Then, and I'm seeing some of that as you have these young guys getting all this money, and then it cuts off, and they haven't saved it. They don't know how to invest it. They have the IRS show up, right? I mean, that's the thing that concerns me, the kids. Is what are you teaching them now when they're 24, 25? And I won't belabor the point, but that's more important to me than winning is their future. Good at bat there by Fabian.
You know, when you take a look at what has happened in a handful of football schools, some in the SEC, some not, but I'll just point out that quarterbacks at some elite programs make millions. And here's what it amounts to. They are the second highest paid employee of the state.
That's right.
And guess who's the first highest? The head football coach.
That's right.
But it's amazing, you know, the way this thing has accelerated without breaks of any sort.
Yep, no doubt.
Runner on the move, got a great jump. Here's the throw, and not close.
So if you're a base runner facing a left-handed pitcher, you go first move and you don't stop. You try to run right to shortstop and impede his view. Derek Fabian got a good jump. They didn't hold him to Caldwell. And you just run right to shortstop. You don't stop. You don't get in a run. You just go. You see the good jump. It wasn't even close. And what you're banking on is the throw to first base, the throw from first base to shortstop at your speed beats it. Fabian with a good read and a good jump.
He's 9 out of 10 in stolen bases this year, is Fabian.
And doesn't fly, but he's very smart. That was a very smart stolen base. They have a scouting report. They know what Caldwell does in the stretch, and he read it and took off.
Instinct can be a big part of it, can't it? You don't have to have that blazing speed.
Huge, just playing the game right.
Rembert takes that one tight.
Coach Thompson was right about the very tight professional strike zone. There's been a handful of pitches that have been there. It's not called back there. More like a major league strike zone tonight here on a Tuesday afternoon.
Rembert has walked a couple of times. He has scored once. Wide stance, closes it somewhat, and smashes one. Deep, way back, way back, way back. That one is gone. Chris Rembert at the top of the order continues to be remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. A smash over the left center field wall, and it was headed home as soon as it left the bat.
Good Lord. You talking, they use the word on ESPN, en fuego. I don't know what's above en fuego, but Chris Rembert.
Remarkable what he's done over the last 12 games now. And by the way, that home run extends his hitting streak to a dozen games. And that's tied for the most this year.
Just hitting .511 for the last 12 games. Ben McDonald stole one of yours on Sunday. You need to get him for copyright because he stole. I can't remember what it was because I can't remember my own name most days. But Ben McDonald stole one of yours and didn't give you credit on Sunday. Maybe it was Saturday. I was watching them play.
Here's Guevara. If you've been late to the party and haven't been paying attention to Auburn baseball lately, the weekend that he had against South Carolina may never be accomplished again. It was that lofty, that impressive.
Yeah, it sure was. It just has continued to do it. And so you face Rimbert, who has 12-game hitting streak, and now he's looking as Eric Guevara at a 12-game hitting streak right here if he can get a hit. It's an SEC series, and they just dismantled South Carolina. All right, go to work, you texters.
Guevara out of Panama City, Panama. Has a very casual, relaxed approach at the plate. Closes his stance as the ball is delivered.
What should we give the winner, Lynn? Somebody gets it right. Bag of popcorn.
A used corn dog.
Your autograph? Okay. A used, okay, a used corn dog. Wonderful.
I mean, we go all out for these things.
I'm getting no response yet.
They don't know your number. High fly ball will drift into the hands of the center fielder Williamson. Guevara gave it a pretty good ride, but not over Williamson's head. That's the second out of the inning.
So if you're going to beat this Auburn team, if you're going to go, if Ole Miss is going to walk, and they do have some good arms, they have a freshman having a really good year, they have a good Friday night guy, you have got to hammer the strike zone, and you got to have good stuff first. But you got to take that good stuff because it just doesn't get easier. You actually, if it can get harder from Rimbert to Guevara, now Ike Irish, it does. And you better be in the zone. You better mix 3 pitches, and you better be a dog, D-A-W-G, on the mound.
Irish takes ball 1. He has singled and scored and bounced out. He was the first batter that Caldwell faced in the second inning.
The question long term really for Auburn is, can they maintain this? Because they will see great pitching this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
They'll see nothing but good pitching the rest of the way out. There'll be no more Tuesday afternoon games. They will see SEC pitching for the next month, and then the regional, super regionals.
This is hit hard the other way and tracked down in the corner. A nice running catch by Drew Collins. In the top of the 4th inning on a gorgeous mid-May night for baseball in Auburn, Alabama.
Last game of the year, Lynn. I'm having fun. You?
Oh, yes.
Great time. Andreas Alvarez is having some fun. He's 3 innings in with 1 hit given up and has a good lead, a chance to get a win here, but he's got to battle through 2 more innings and get in the strike zone. Coach Thompson mentioned the first pitch strikes. Like to see a little better. Follows behind there on the first pitch.
He's only faced 9 batters to open the ball game, but he was doubled up with 1 out. He's had the only base hit for the Gamecocks, who are 31 and 21. They are 13 and 11 in Conference USA.
Collins made a heck of a play out there on that last out in the 3rd inning to run that ball down the gap and catch it, and gets the lead off here in the 4th inning.
He's a senior from Ohio.
I'll tell you the one thing Alvarez does, and you like a lot, is he really challenges with his fastball. He's got good changeup, he's got a good breaking ball, but he goes to work right at hitters with a fastball.
He has walked 1, he has struck out 2, and both of those came in the 3rd inning.
If you watch him finish, I use that term finish weekly with young pitchers. He is probably 5'10", 6 foot, but his finish is more like a guy 6'5". Watch him get down and watch how low he gets at release point. Just drives that ball through the catcher. That's what you teach pitchers. You take your pitch in hand and you run it right through the catcher's chest. Try to extend that as far as you can.
Auburn is looking for its 21st victory against only 4 setbacks in non-conference play. They are 10-2 in midweek games coming into this one.
See if he elevates the fastball. It's been 4 straight fastballs. You see Fralick calling the pitch. Change up. Pitch. Good
That's
play.
a fair ball and stabbed by McMurray right on the line behind the bag. Nicely done by McMurray. By Alvarez. And here's Horning, who Fly to center last time. Good changeup.
Yeah, we've mentioned Christian Chatterton a couple times. He started on Sunday. These two freshmen have as good a command with a changeup. So if you're a 9 or a 10-year-old pitcher or a coach of that young ages, teach them to throw the changeup. The curveball can wait, but these guys are doing it with really good changeups.
Fabian on the backhand side, high throw, but McMurray grabs it for the out. Well done on both ends.
Really nice to have a 6'5" first baseman. Really nice, but a good play by Fabian. Backhand, get up, get rid of it.
I thought Fabian might try to get around that ball and field it on the forehand side, but he was able to backhand it nicely and came up throwing, very confident in his positioning.
So as we look at it, Maryland, listen to this: 126 chances for Fabian, fielded 984, 3 errors.
That's remarkable.
Huge.
That is remarkable.
I don't know if the SEC has an all-defensive team. His bat has been adequate, but that defense, when you can do that at shortstop, you don't have to hit 350. Everybody else can do that. You just catch it, throw it. Boy, he's done it.
Cooper Blauser, a sophomore from Georgia. And it's 2-0. 2 outs, nobody on base. Auburn got 5 in the first. 4 of them on one swing by McMurray. And Rembert had a 2-out home run in the third. 7-0 Auburn's Tigers. 6 hits for Auburn and 5 with a catch. It's the first inning in which, the second inning in which the Gamecocks have not had a base runner, and we are 7-0 Auburn.
This play.
He sure did. Nicely done by Freilich, who had to run a long way to his right to make the catch. It's the first inning in which, the second inning in which the Gamecocks have not had a base runner, and we
Kind of established himself a little bit here for Jacksonville State.
Bonaparte started. He went an inning. Caldwell pitched 2 innings, and now it's Swindle.
And Lynn, in a regional setting, you heard what he said about his 1 and his 2. If he runs 1 and 2 out, it's a difference. It could be 7-0 if Auburn's swinging it, but he's got a chance to be in the ball games if they can get into the tournament, win it, and maybe get to postseason. They've got a chance with 2 guys. You just need 2 in a 2 out of 3 series to be in a position to win.
Cooper McMurray hit one out of sight with the bases loaded in the first and walked in his second at bat. He is fooled by that pitch.
Yeah, good slider there. Swindle's from Mobile, Alabama. Went to Fairhope High School down the coast and went over to Mississippi Gulf Coast and then transferred in. So again, another junior college player. You really, I think the mid-major level, Lynn, has to really build on JUCO and transfer portals. They just don't get the elite guys. Auburn's got 3 elite guys and 2 elite pitchers on their staff. You can do that in the SEC. This is what they have to do. No JUCO guy here. And
if you do get an elite player, you can bet that the phone is going to be ringing for his services by many other schools.
Yeah, unfortunately, if a guy shows up on a mid-major program and has a great year, then yeah, there comes the off-season recruiting or in-season recruiting, right? Season's not even over yet.
That's 5 walks issued by this Gamecocks pitching staff. The first, of course, from Swindle.
That's what's unfortunate, is you work as hard as this Jacksonville State staff has worked, and you got to do it every year. You can never say, okay, we got 9 guys coming back, and we got 4 sophomores, because if they play well, unfortunately, the money does talk, and they're going to go for greener pastures.
Steele has doubled and struck out. He's swinging on the first pitch and hits it very hard on a line to center field. It's caught near the warning track by Williamson. Steele hit a frozen rope to deep center field, but Williamson was able to track it down.
Yeah, and a good job by Williamson. You see him just drop his hips, right? You don't turn your shoulders. You keep your eye on the ball. He's hit so hard, you can't turn and run, but you drop your hips and you just kind of go laterally, and that's what he did to make a really good play.
Steele's double in the first inning moved his hitting streak to 6 games, and here's Snow, who also had a double, and he's hit safely in 6 games.
Another pitch right in there. I think it's a rectangle plate tonight. I think the corners are gone. It's just 2 straight lines down the side.
Spoken like a former pitcher and pitching coach.
You got it. 1-1
now on Eric Snow.
This guy's been a great addition. Has Eric Snow. He's played third. He played short. First, he was a starting shortstop the opening game of the season, and then Fabian took over, played second. He's hit all year, had a really good season.
By the way, we have a special guest coming up in just a few minutes. Larry Vickers, the new women's basketball coach, is going to be with us, and we much look forward to that conversation.
The two-strike hitting of this Auburn team, which is a Gabe Gross trademark. Now, the two-strike hitting has been really good, really from February on. This team survives on making pitchers make pitches and get deep in counts, and they've done it all year long. Just continue. Snow's been good at it since he walked on the campus. He's just a really good hitter. Came from South Florida, strong build, but Gabe was so good as an elite guy. Hit home runs, but you just didn't strike Gabe Gross out. Had a great feel for the strike zone. He was probably very similar. You see him now, the hitting coach. Probably similar. I played with Frank Thomas. I coached Gabe Gross. They were probably as good as I've ever seen at strike zone command and feel as far as hitters, and the results showed.
The 1-2 pitch misses outside. We go even at 2 apiece. 1 out, 1 on. Auburn scored 5 in the first, added 2 more in the third, and leads 7-0 in this final regular season game. And I underscore regular season because Auburn certainly has aspirations and good chances of extending its postseason run in this ballpark. That's hit sharply, and Olay. Johnson couldn't field it at shortstop. Looked like he might have overrun it a little bit, tried to lean back.
Going big series this weekend in Western Kentucky, and another base hit by a freshman.
Terrell making a bid for his second double of the game, drives in 1 run. He'll stop at second base, and Auburn adds to its lead. 5 in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 8. Freilich, one of those superb freshmen, is 0 for 2. His value has been obvious at the plate, but I think the thing that is really remarkable about his opening year at Auburn is the way he has handled the pitching staff. And again, you heard Butch Thompson tell us, and we've known it throughout the course of the season, he teaches his catchers to call their own game. Most of the pitches do not get signaled in from the bench. It's the catcher doing that.
Exactly right, and he's done it as a freshman. So it started in August. Okay, what does Samuel Dutton have? What is your left-hander Cade Fisher? He starts learning his pitchers from day one. Now you get to May, and he's got them memorized. Knows how they pitch, knows what they like, and knows how to call a game. It's just so rare and really kind of refreshing.
And a 4-pitch pass to Freilich as he watches 4 out of the strike zone. And this loads the bases for the 3rd time tonight.
Coach Vickers is here, but we might not get to him.
We're going to get to him.
Hang in there, Coach.
We may have a pitching change right here. It looks like there's some stirring and a newcomer coming out. So we anticipate a new pitcher coming out of that bullpen, and we'll step aside and be right back. Auburn with the lead early.
He'd not done such a good job catching. Auburn would have had to put Ike Irish back behind the plate. Your body takes a beating, and you don't swing the bat as well, maybe, so it's freed him up too.
So we anticipate a new pitcher coming out of that bullpen, and we'll step aside and be right back. Auburn with the lead early.
Fans that I really like. We're going to play really hard. We're going to try and be first on the floor every possession. But we're also going to play smart. You know, point guard play is important to us. Ball movement's important to us. Limiting turnovers is important to us. So we want to be a team that focuses on the analytics as well.
Larry, what was it about the Auburn position which most attracted you? And what did the selection committee, the people who actually made the decision to hire you, what were they most impressed with? What's your vision?
Well, you know, for me, I think they were impressed with, you know, even though I'm a young coach at 42, my experience, like you talked about on both sides. I also felt like, you know, overall, what kind of drew me to Auburn, I mean, the amazing facilities, the amazing city, just the people and the love that they have for the institution here. I mean, for me, it was a no-brainer.
A single there by Derek Fabian. Grayson Knight, by the way, on the mound for Jacksonville State Lynn. Derek Fabian continuing this they're scoring runs like a basketball team, Coach. I mean, this is a team that scored 46 runs in 3 games on the weekend. Now they have 10 in 4 innings. Auburn is putting up some offense like a basketball team.
I've been really impressed. You know, this is my 3rd game.
You know, I remember you as a player, and defense was a watchword for you. Don't tell me it wasn't. I know everybody likes to score, but you certainly took pride in that. And that's been the MO for your teams, both on the men's side and the women's side. I expect you're going to demand that there is defensive pressure applied by the Auburn Tigers.
Well, you know, fortunately enough, 22-23, we had the #1 defense in the country where I was. And, you know, we're going to kind of bring those same principles to the SEC with a little better athlete, hopefully a little smarter player, and be able to kind of attribute the same thing. But, you know, all of these games, these baseball games I've been able to attend have all been great. You know, I was able to attend 2 games, the LSU A-Day weekend, and just today. So I've really enjoyed watching baseball and just being up here with y'all the last 10 minutes. I've learned probably more about the sport than I have, you know, in the last 10 years of going to Tigers games.
How about the rebuild, Coach? I know you got a lot of work to do on your team. What have you been doing? The portal, junior college, play? How do you work it when you're really running so fast?
Well, you know, continuity is important with the way we want to kind of play basketball. So, you know, we're bringing in 4 freshmen. We're able to bring in a junior college player. You know, a lot of the transfers that we got were young. So we're going to be a young team next year. But, you know, that's probably for the best, you know, as they kind of grow and follow in the next year. Even though we're expecting to have some success early going into year 2, just have a lot of confidence. Auburn's such a terrific place. You know, we're not here short for names.
Larry Vickers, I think you're a good luck charm. This is the Tigers have battered around here with your presence.
No, this is a great baseball team. I mean, you know, just being here, #2 in the country now.
#2.
What's your favorite sport besides basketball?
Well, I have 2 boys, 5 and 2, and Norfolk, where I came from, we have the AAA Norfolk Tides.
Yeah, I played there.
I'm a season ticket holder there. And so we enjoyed going to those baseball games, and we're going to really enjoy, you know, being in this beautiful stadium coming to summer.
Still Harbor Park?
Yes,
We were sitting there one night in the big naval ships, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see Ike Irish doing what Ike does, just hit balls hard and continue to come home for Auburn. We were sitting there one night, Coach, and I guess it was an aircraft carrier, and everything disappeared. And here came this like city in the water floating by.
Yeah.
I'd never seen one. It was really impressive and a great town.
Yeah, it is. You know, we have Norfolk is the largest naval base in the country there, and not only that, I mean, Army presence, Air Force presence. The F-18s probably flew over the stadium at one point. You know, it's a huge military town, so you know, we love our country there.
Yep, absolutely. Doing overtime here with us, Coach. This is what
they told me. I asked them. I said, "Hey, do I need to go all the way out? Do I need to be on the dirt?" And they were like, "No, you don't need to stand on the."
Auburn Tigers women's basketball team back in SEC contention.
we talked before you came up, Coach. We had the head coach of Jacksonville State, Coach Beasley, on. This is his second year. He won 18 games last year, and it was a long season. But he's rebuilt it, and he's got 31 wins now. He got 13 conference wins. So what you are now working to do, he's done it here in the baseball world, and it can be done. You guys get out there. I know you pound the pavement, and recruiting gone a lot, and rebuild, you know, one step at a time.
Well, Auburn's such an amazing place. I mean, honestly, we've had about 10 commits in 2.5 weeks. But, you know, everybody that has attended, we probably landed 10 out of 14 that we had on campus, probably 10 or 13, honestly. It's such an amazing place. You know, as we can get them here, they'll want to come.
So tell me what the mindset is, the parents, the people that you're talking to when you approach potential players. What do they think about Auburn, and what is it that you're trying to tell them to come here and take a hard look around?
Well, you know, I asked in my recruit meeting today with my staff, you know, is Auburn a household name? You know, and just trying to figure out that piece. But even though Auburn's a household name, trying to figure out a way how to make Auburn women's basketball a household name. So that's our goal.
What's been the relationship you've had with Bruce Pearl?
Well, Bruce is great. You know, we don't have any offices because of renovations right now, so we're all kind of in one area.
Up and in, looks like he's okay.
You know, so Bruce has been
just one of those days where Jacksonville State has just not pitched. They didn't pitch early, walked guys in the first inning, and got the grand slam by McMurray, and Auburn is hitting every mistake they make over the play, which is what they did all weekend. And so Auburn on track to head to Ole Miss, win a game, win 2 games, and then host all the way through if they keep up this attack they have offensively.
7 runs in this inning, half of the 14 Auburn has put on the board. 5 in the first, 2 in the third, 7 here in the fourth. And it's 14-0. Now remember, these two teams played in the middle of April, and Auburn needed a 9th inning home run to win by 1. It's been quite the different story tonight.
Wow, that's impressive. You know, this is might have been my 75th baseball game I've ever been to, like with Todd's games and things like that. But tonight was my first Grand Slam. I've never seen a Grand Slam before in person. So
it's Auburn's 3rd in 4 games.
Really?
Coach, talk about Neville Arena a little bit. Neville's, I guess, 6 or 7, 8 years old now. Just the things you like about it that you're going to use to recruit players to come play there.
Oh, well, I mean, our locker room is amazing. And it is the perfect size where, you know, even on a night where it might not be 10,000 fans in there, you can feel whatever number, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. You can feel the people on top of you. And, you know, in the league we play in, we're going to need some of that home court advantage with, you know, the best recruiters in the country being in the SEC.
Another double by Bub Terrell. 3, Lynn, for him tonight?
It is. And RBIs on each of them.
Look how quiet that was.
Impact players. I mean, these people can be among the very best in the country despite their first year in college. I know that you're attempting to recruit people of that caliber.
Yeah, for sure. You know, now with all sports really being 10 to 12 months every year, you know, some of these players specialize in this stuff. And sometimes you don't have to go to college and wait your turn anymore. You know, 2003 when I got there, I felt like everybody was a rite of passage almost. But especially with this league, with the amount of talent that the coaches are going to be able to recruit all across the country, you're going to get some freshmen that can play right away.
Good luck, Charm. And best wishes as you approach a new basketball season.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
Bats are just booming to an extent that this type of 18-0 on 15 base hits. Most of those have been for extra bases. And Fabian at the plate, already batting for the 4th time. He has walked twice and singled in a couple of runs.
I turned the game on Thursday night. It was 18-2 in the 3rd inning, and I thought, that can't be right. And that's what Auburn did in 3+ innings. They put up 18 runs against South Carolina. So
well, they've done it in 4 innings tonight. McMurray has had a grand slam home run. Rembert has hit one out of the ballpark with a teammate aboard. Home runs number 13 and 10 respectively for those two players.
I saw something I've never seen the other day. I was watching Mississippi State play, I believe, Lynn, and the batter struck out because of the time clock. 2 strikes. He stepped out, didn't get in there in time. And the inning ended, as we see this inning end, with a swing and slide or miss with a called strike because of a time clock violation. That's enough. Let me go pitch. And so we'll see. He's got to warm back up again, actually. Probably kept it moving under the dugout, but hard to do. And
Brady Thomas, Grayson Ash, and Caleb Johnson are scheduled to hit perfect innings consecutively. He allowed a base runner in the first on a base hit. He walked the batter in the second, but then picked him off. And this is popped up right side and handled by Snow. And the Auburn Tigers are leading 18-0 in the 5th inning with 1 out.
it's a good sign for Alvarez. He went fastball, change up. Left-hand hitter on his front foot. He gets the win here. I think this will be it for him. If he gets 3 outs, he gets the win. It'll be a really good night.
He's working on a 1-hit shutout, and he's faced the minimum number of batters. There's been a double play and a runner picked off first base.
Both teams will jump on the bus tomorrow morning. Jacksonville State will head to Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Auburn will head to Oxford, Mississippi for what will be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, and then bus right back, stay one day, and head to the conference tournaments.
Have you been to Bowling Green?
I have.
It's a beautiful city.
Yep, beautiful.
And if you like caves, you're in the right place.
Absolutely. Carson Myers, one of the more successful Auburn relievers on this Auburn staff, played there, transferred in. His dad was the head coach. He transferred into Auburn a couple of years ago. So Western Kentucky.
Have you taken the Underground River tour?
I have not.
It's something special.
Really? Yeah, that would be something to see. Good pitch, good fastball in. Hasn't been called tonight. That has not been there, but it was on that pitch, and a good pitch.
So that mid-popper brings the count to 3-2.
Yeah, but still sitting 93. He's only 64 pitches in, so the pitch count's in good shape. Stuff's still really good.
Caught behind second by Snow, who was favoring that area. Snow.
See him as a pitcher, that's not good.
By Snow. And Caleb Johnson comes to the plate. He fouls the first pitch. Johnson flied to left field last time. This is only his second at bat. It's been all Auburn. 18-0 on 15 base hits, most of those extra base hits, including 2 home runs.
Yeah, just rockets. You're right. And let's say this Jacksonville State team came in hitting some rockets. 21 home runs in the last 18 games, and Alvarez has just shut them down. He has just shut them down. That doesn't help as an offense when you're down big early because you lose momentum and feel. But
inning.
Wonderful outing.
It's 18-0 Auburn, way out in front tonight.
Opinion because of the long sit with the 11-run 4th inning.
McMurray is there to take it, and another 3-up, 3-down inning.
It's a great outing.
He has not allowed a base runner since he walked Thomas to lead off the 2nd inning. And of course, an onslaught tonight. And on we go. Auburn trying to add to its lead in the 5th.
Jacksonville State with a new catcher, Hudson Walburn, in behind the plate from Vestavia, Alabama. Getting a little time here on the field. Good slider there by Deaton. Another one to a really good hitter. He's fooled Rembert twice now, 2 good sliders. A lot to play for, Lynn. A lot going on. Once this game ends and they get on the buses and head where they're headed, it's a fun time of year. I always look forward to the last weekend and the conference tournament, if you're in the thick of things, and both of these teams are. A&M was certainly not picked 13th in the league, and they were expected to be high, and so Auburn's done it.
Andrew Dutton is going to pinch hit.
Maybe his first at bat of the year. Brother of Samuel Dutton came in from Birmingham Southern.
I'm going to try to check that for you. Yeah, I believe this is his first at bat.
Good for him. He was coach first base for a lot of the season. He was at Birmingham Southern. They went to the College World Series last year after it had been announced that the school was no longer going to exist. So, Lynn, they were playing baseball with no college to go home to. And he transferred in here. Of course, Samuel's been outstanding on the mound, but him getting a chance to hit and hit a home run. Wow.
Way back into the night. Fly, War Eagle, fly.
Look at the Auburn dugout.
His first at bat as an Auburn Tiger. Rips it well into the night in right field. And that ball is in the witness protection program. Nobody's going to find it.
That's cooler than cool, if you can say that.
Here's Cole Edwards. He's going to pinch hit. So Dutton bats for Guevara and smashes a long home run.
Look at the hugs, pretty cool. Lynn, the fans knew it too. The fans are into this. They know exactly what's going on. They poured into it, and they knew what was going on as well. And that's what Coach Thompson has built. He has built team unity. He's built a team that pulls for guys and jumps up and down when a guy that hasn't got a chance to play does something special. Addison Klepsch now is going to pinch hit here This is a guy they are very excited about. He hasn't played much. He's a freshman from San Diego, and he's a guy that came in high accolades, and I think they're still very excited about. He just hadn't gotten the reps because the middle with Fabian and Rembert and Snow has been so good. The reps just haven't been there for him, but they were excited about him coming in and still are.
Klepsch is batting for McMurray. All he did was hit a grand slam home run, walk a couple of times, and drive in a run with a single.
Last home game of the year, Auburn winning big and getting a chance to put everybody in that hadn't gotten the at-bats. Just let them get in and play.
And every Auburn starter tonight has at least one base hit.
Yep.
Let's see if anybody can get to this. It'll be the center fielder, Williamson, who runs a long way and makes